it's nice. I don't have to dig in the folder and be like, oh well, fuck, where's that? Heyo. What's up, guys? We are in a fucking hot ass apartment. As you can see, I'm bringing out the tank top, and it's fucking fall, and it's like 100 degrees out here. I don't get it, but welcome to welcome to the Suga CRAVE Show. What's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are cool and soft and comfy, because I am uncomfy right now. Man, dude. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for the love and support once again, and things have been awesome, man. Life has been great, just in the sense of like getting back to rhythm and just, you know, being creative and getting to do creative things. Being creative and creative things. This sounds so fucking dumb. No, guys, it just it does. It feels great being back at a spot where I feel like I didn't think I could be able to be back. Because to be honest, there was a scary moment that I was like, maybe I should just quit, just be done with it, just work in the audio field and just ride the wave or ride the, you know, right off to the sunset. And to me, that was great to a point where I'm like, I still have a creative side. I'm not saying you can't be creative at your work, which I do. I'm able to be creative. I'm able to, you know, become somebody in a role that I can lead. I can help other creatives. That's why I'm at a great balance, because, you know, running a rehearsal studio to doing creative stuff is like, I'm like surrounded by creativeness. You know, definitely there's the business side of it, you know, the budgeting, scheduling, and trying to manage other employees. But being able to do a podcast and or create, you know, fucking samples, production material, it gets my brain from one side to the other, one creative to technical, one leadership to just running myself. And so I'm at this healthy balance that it's content with myself. And before I think I was just looking at others rather than looking at what I have currently and just dealing with my cards. You know, because I think that's the thing we get so caught up, especially with social medias. You see so much material that other people have, and you feel like you need that. You feel like since they're successful and they have that, I must need that in order to be successful. You mean big topic in our world when it comes to music production is plugins. Plugins are just so huge in our industry when it comes to, like, you know, if you watch YouTube videos of like let's say, I don't know, just like any music production or mixing, you know, mixing with masters, and you see their videos and you see all the engineers that have certain plugins or certain certain plugins that they use in order to mix a certain track or certain song and certain group, and you're like, fuck, I need that, because that's something that they're using to get to that level, so I must need that. And all of it's just false. It's one way is shorter than the other, because that particular person, they use that specific plugin in that specific way because it's easier for them, or it works well with that certain situations. Not meaning that if you use that same plugin for something different or something almost similar but not exactly similar, it's going to work out the same. And sometimes it just doesn't. So I've seen people spend thousands of dollars in just these plugins and outboard gear, like, you know, fucking instruments and all this stuff, and at the end of the day, they don't even use it. They don't fucking use it. And for me, I really shrunk down a lot of my production stuff to the point that it works for me, and it's a little bit simplified. I definitely do have the essentials, and, you know, like Fab Filter, Ozone. What else would I have? Yeah, Soothe. Oh man, fucking Soothe. Soothe has been one of my favorite fucking plugins. Just because anything that I throw into it just smooths it out. It literally does. It just, like, I don't know exactly how it works. I'm the wrong guy to ask about that, but, like, honestly, like, when it comes to, like, certain things, like, let's say there's, like, annoyance like in my vocal. You're just like, man, this guy's vocal fucking sound. I can't believe he's doing podcasts. His voice is annoying. I get it. All right. Fuck off. But let's say that you're just like, hey, there's something in, like, around 4K. I just don't know. I'm not expertise in it. I'm not experienced with this. Let me throw Soothe. And Soothe just, like, it literally soothes things out. So I don't know. Oh man, it's a great plugin, worth every fucking dime. I don't know how much is it. I think $200 or $100. I don't know, but it's worth the money. That's the plugin that's worth the money, because it's saved me so many headaches when it comes to, like process, like, especially vocals, or sometimes I'll use it on, like, hi-hats, like, that just, like, are kind of too piercing, and I just want to balance things out. And so I'll use that for that. And it's a great plugin. And to be honest, I don't need anything really else besides that when it comes to what it does. Like, when it comes to, like I can use a multi-band compressor. Excuse me. But to me, it's one of those plugins that I just throw on it and I don't have to think about it much. And I think that helps me a lot. I hate when I get stuck in technical issues, or just, like, it gets too complicated to the point that now I'm just like, I'm not even enjoying the process. So especially when it comes to mixing. And mixing, it's a lot of, like, technical stuff. Is like, definitely, like, creativeness too. Like, if you're trying to get a certain color out, like brightness or dark, or that stuff, which I do like about mixing. It's like you do get, it's a lot of technical, but then I can add, like, my little flair to it. Because you want that. You don't want to sound like any generic engineer, because then your client will they could just be like, oh, I'll go to someone else because they're cheaper, or they, I work well with that other person. So that's another thing too as well when it comes to, like, working with clients, is like, how flexible are you? How flexible are they too? Because I don't want to, like, discount our point of view too. Because sometimes we have clients that they're just fucking picky. They have, like, 20,000 revisions, and you're just like, bro, I'm doing you a favor for this. I'm not even charging you full rate on it. And so for me, there's a point that it's just like, okay, we're not really getting anywhere, and that's when you can just, negotiate, just be like, hey, want this for that, or whatever, But yeah, you don't need too many plugins. Everybody has their go-to and favorites, and that's why I love Ableton, is because with the collections, you could save, like, you can have these, like, color folders, and for me, I'll have my compressors, my EQs, my reverbs, and it's nice. I don't have to dig in the folder and be like, oh, well, fuck, where's that one plugin that I used on this one? I can just, boom, it's right there. I have it right there. Hey guys, ever wonder where I record my videos or podcasts? Most of the time, it's at Design Sound Studio. It's about 3,000 square feet with a full lighting rig. No need to spend thousands of dollars for lighting rentals. We got it all set up for you guys. And we even have 2 flex rooms that could be used as makeup rooms, dressing rooms, or even a production office. I'm telling you guys, it's a perfect spot if you guys want something private without being interrupted by a noisy drummer next door. Our space is just gonna make your production rehearsals run so smoothly. And the best part is we're open 24 hours, 7 days a week. So if you're ready to book your session, head over to designsoundstudio.com and get a quote from us today. There's this like world of cracking plugins. I've done it in the past. I feel guilty, but I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed the shit of it because it got me to explore the plugin as much as I can when I don't really have a budget. Now, like for me, it's different. I'm in a different situation, thank God, and I can actually now give back and actually buy these plugins. But you know, if you could do your best, don't crack these plugins. You know what I mean? First of all, the law of that, the fucking they're glitchy. Like you can't update them, and a lot of these updates they're so helpful. And plus, you're stealing from one creator to be another creator. You know what I mean? Like eventually it comes back to you. People start stealing your fucking beats or your drum loops and stuff like that. So at the end, it comes back to you and you start cracking shit. So I'm not trying to say I've never done it. I've done it before, especially in the beginning of it, but now it's just like it I don't do that now just because even like when I had to update all my stuff and I had cracked plugins, I wasn't able to update it, and I lost so much production templates, or so many songs too, just because those songs had like those cracked plugins, and when I updated it just couldn't update, and it just wouldn't even open the folder, and it sucked because I was just like, man, those are some of the songs that I enjoyed the most, and I didn't think about it, and guess what? I fucked myself because I was cheap and I bought cracked plugins. And so don't do it, guys. If you can, even try the demo, or like save up each, if you can. I know it's so hard. It's easier, to save, like, oh, just save up and buy all these plugins and stuff like that. Bitch, I can't afford it. I'm working 2 jobs, and, I can barely afford my rent and all this stuff. And you're telling me to buy $150 plugin where I can't even fucking, pay for gas. What are you talking about? So I get it. But then this is good because then it makes you shrink up your plugin folder. Like it makes you use the native plugins that are on there. That, to be honest, you should be using those. You should be a fucking master on those plugins, and then move up to the Pro Q3. I mean, that's what I did when when I was using Ableton. I was using the Pro, not the Pro 8, the EQ8. And I would use the shit out of it. I used the multi compressor, and put the setting on OTT or something. And like it was one of the things that it pushed me so much when it comes to my production, because it was just like, okay, you are limited in a certain thing that financially, it's just because you can't afford these plugins. So you're gonna have to work what you have. And I was so glad because I learned so much. And also, like, when I was working with other producers, I would see them work in a lot of native plugins, and I saw them what they were using as, and I was just like, oh shit, I don't need that. They're like, yeah, you can do the exact same thing that this plugin does, but unfortunately, you just gotta do 3 more steps. If you want, at least with Ableton, you can save the rack itself, store it, and then whenever you need it, you're like, oh, I need this. Like, you could save, like, let's say you built this sick ass like multi-band compressor that has a little bit of distortion on the high end. You save it, you put like Suga distorted high frequency rack. Boom, you save it in your folder. You however you organize it. When you're like, oh man, I need a little bit of distortion in the high end. Oh, I got that rack. Pop, 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 pop. Boom, it pops in. Fucking Ableton's sick in that point that you can actually do that kind of stuff, and you can pull up your folder, and then boom, you know, you have everything set for you, and you can work in such a fucking fast pace. So, but I don't know about other DAWs like FL Studio. I can't recall. I think you could save like the processing rack within the channel. Reason, I'm not sure. Probably most plugins you're able to. I mean, most DAWs you're able to do that. But yeah, just figure out the native plugins and then move on to the big boys. That's what I would suggest. I mean, it's just, I hate for people to spend crazy amount of money, get in so much debt just to think that they need certain plugins, to later find out, oh, I could have done this with the native plugin and it almost sounds very similar. There's one thing, so in Ableton, they have the glue compressor, which is a like, not a replica, but I forgot the word. Like it mimics, or it sounds similar to the SSL channel bus compressor. And so to me, I love that compressor. And at that time, I couldn't afford it. So I was just like, okay, what's the next step? Oh, the glue compressor, it has a similar sound, similar, it's not the similar look, but it could do the same job. And so I perfected that so well with that glue compressor. I put it in my drums and my bass bass bus group. And yeah, it was just one of those things that I was able to fix that, or I was able to work with it, and then I later on moved to that. So once I got that plugin, I really got to be able to dive in further, but I knew what I was doing. And you know what's funny? I kind of reverted back to that glue compressor just because I was so used to it. I was just like, oh, I don't really need this G channel. I could go to this glue compressor and do the same thing. So it's one of those things. The wifey's messaging me. Yes. Let's see what she says. All right. But yeah, guys. Yeah. Just don't break the bank. Please don't, man. It's not worth it. Unless it's a plugin that's going to change your life, that you're going to fucking hit the Grammys every fucking time. It just you don't need that. And at the end of the day, no one fucking cares too. That's the thing, is like, sometimes we get in our own heads and we're just like, oh, I need this plugin just because, I don't know, fucking Charlie Puth used it and his breakdown, and I need it, and then if I want to get to that level, if I want to be Charlie Puth, I need that. It's like, no, no average listener is gonna be like, hey, did you use the glue compressor from Ableton? Because I'm not. If you're not using it, I'm not vibing in the song. That's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, just don't. I mean, I'm saying this because I've had experience of that. I was that person that was just like, oh man, I gotta get all these plugins. Once I get all these plugins, then I'm gonna start something creative, and I'm gonna make a track like this. Then I'm gonna do that. And then, to be honest, it was it just wasn't. It almost like was too much for me, to the point that I was so overwhelmed by how many plugins I had, that I was like, yeah, I was just like so confused. Like, I would get into a production, like a blank setting and a blank project, and I wouldn't know what to do with these plugins. But one thing that did help me is, like, what I would do is I would do these like classes and YouTube videos, and basically I would just dive into a certain plugin that I have and really go through it, step by step for what they did and demonstrate it, and then I'll I'll do it on my project. So for instance, let's say they're EQing vocals. I'll just grab like a vocal sample from, Splice or whatever I had in the session, and I'll do the same thing, with that specific plugin and just really, really dive into it. So, but yeah, just don't kill the bank. I know I keep repeating myself, but I swear, dude. Like, I've been in that situation where I spend too much money on plugins, and I'm like, fuck, that was just not. I'm barely even using this plugin now, and I'm paying for it. And so, just dive into the native plugins, and then move on to the big boys once you're all set. And yeah, but that's pretty much the lecture of today. Don't buy shit that you don't know how to use. Or you're not going to use, or you're using just because someone else is using it. So that's the lecture of the day, guys. But yeah, that's it. But before I end, I just want to say thank you guys so much once again for tuning into the podcast, and join the Suga Crave Club, which is available for everybody, starting out for $2.99 a month, and you pretty much get podcasts like this with that just unedited, and templates, and I'll put my presets up there as well, and sample packs for you guys, so you guys can use them for your own production. And yeah, don't forget to tune in to on Fridays for the live streams, for the live breakdowns, where we just grab the new songs that day and create, just hang out and just fucking bullshit and listen to music and just dive in. So, but yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys on the next one.